That's not very fun. That's not something you're going to live to tell the tale for. The only downside of this is I feel like you have one part of Afrika that really likes taking it slow, playing backwards, and letting Nongshim engage into you with the Rumble, the Vega, and the Rel. And then you have one part with Dread, Bang, and I guess kind of Rel who can do both, play both sides, right? Wants to play aggressively forward and dive deep. Now, the diving deep into this comp, not happening. So what I think is Bang is going to be relegated to just hit front line, and then it's just going to be flying keen, dealing out that sweet, sweet damage.
If they can get in a position to make it happen, which, same thing as game number 1, right? Nongshim looking like the better team so far, even in this series, but Afrika showed some signs of life, so maybe with this weird curveball comp, they can try to turn it around, but they're going to have to play on their toes and be ready to stop that engage, because if you press a button, you might just be dead. As we are going to jump into game number 2 here, Nongshim on blue side this time around against Afrika.
And you know, everyone at home, we were just treated to such a beautiful game number 1. Actually,
yes,
I want
extraordinary.
to retract my beautiful. I think exciting is more accurate. Exciting, exhilarating, thrilling. You know.
Inspirational.
I think inspirational actually does work very well, Valdez. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
And I think with these two teams, like obviously these are teams that, in terms of like overall level of gameplay, are not going to hit the highs of a Genji Damwon match that we saw. But these players are in this match playing for like their very tournament lives. In the case of Nongshim, not so much, but in the case of Afrika, this is all or nothing. And they're all in this all or nothing consists of Rumble Vega, which like you gotta respect that, you know? It might come down, crash and burn, it might not work out at all, but I'm happy to see them go for it.
Yeah.
You're not as convinced as I am.
Yeah. The thing is like, you know, all those things you said in the draft, they're definitely correct, right? Like on paper, you look at the abilities that some of these champions have, the ability to disengage, the event horizon and stuff, but, you know, sometimes you look at drafts, you draw all these lines and you feel like you figured it out, and then you get punched in the face by a cask and your whole plan changes, right? So it's going to have to come down to execution as well. Afrika need to prove that they can actually rumble with Nongshim. See what I did there? Got him. Otherwise, they're just going to not have a fun time, as it has been 594 days since we have seen Veigar, and it was a win of Fly himself. You know, I was going to mention it, but Fly is like the one guy who actually has shown us Veigar from time to time, but the last time was 2019.
Yeah, this win rate, though. Oh yeah, it's not a big sample size, but I'm gonna let, you know, my rational part of me get the better hand over seeing Veigar mid play, because I'm just, the only thing that would make me happy if it was like Veigar support with, I don't know, Pyke or Poppy or any of the displacement champions, because that's even more fun. However, I want to go a little bit about this Veigar, because one of the issues that you are going to run into is that Fly is not going to have a great time off on his own. He needs to play really respectful, especially post-6, because he is super immobile, and just the event horizon is not really enough to discredit the damage coming out from a potential play from Peanut and Bay, right? So that means that Dread is going to have to play without Prio in the mid lane, which he doesn't necessarily fully rely on, but I want to see to what extent this Veigar can actually match the wave clear that the Seraphine is going to inevitably get once she gets a couple of levels in her queue. Because maybe I'm underestimating the amount of wave clear that the Veigar has, and he can actually like kind of maintain that as Dread goes in.
Wow, the Ghost even committed to here. He's going, and he will pick up that Scuttle, and now Peanut is going to have to potentially flash here. No, he will be okay, but look at the amount of damage he's taken. Also, he's down a level because he skipped the Krugs, so now this might just be a double Scuttle to the side of Dread.
And getting ahead early as Hacker, and that's pretty much a dream scenario. And it ties into what Afrika's identity has been this entire split. Even when they were looking rough, when no one was really, besides me, who, you know, I still don't know where I stand on that, was a believer in Afrika. This early game was always one of their strengths. The problem is more, yes, we see an early game lead on Dread here. To what extent is he able to leverage that into more? Because I think the best example of this is, as always, when it comes to junglers, or really any play in League of Legends in Korea, Canyon, I think, is the best example. as nicely spotted teleport ward there. Thank you very much, observers. And I want to see if Dread can do something similar, because if you don't do it in this match, there's not a lot more left.
Yeah, you're running out of matches for spring. After this one, I think they have 3 more, actually. I'm looking at it now. No, it's just 2.
One and the sandbox, yeah.
So it's 3 including this one.
Yeah.
So you have potentially 2 more after this, and that might just be it. Maybe you're just waiting for summer at that point. So.
Oh, look at that. It's 32 free AP.
Oh.
Hit it. That's
Champ is OP. He gets free AP.
Wow. When he's playing into you.
Yeah, thanks, Fly.
It was like he's hearing us. Oh.
Peanut is just, he's not having a fun time. Smoke screen comes down. Thankfully, Dread doesn't have flash of his own, but it's still a big win for him. He's just dominating Peanut in the jungle.
The one thing that's even better than like calling how a draft is going to go through, because in the LCK sometimes it's like a little bit like cycling with, you know, the training wheels on, because they are a little bit predictable, is saying, you know, I really want to see Dread leverage his lead and him then promptly charging into Peanut's jungle and forcing the flash. That's very nice, because now this lead is actually becoming like, it's becoming monstrous, right? And this is definitely going to get turned into a Drake. I really hope for a Freaka that this time they will be treated to a better dragon, because, you know, this might still be another Cloud, which I guess on Hecarim is a little bit better, but it's still not quite it. And because right now they're looking in firm control of the early game, and this is much more powerful kind of lead than they had in game number 1, where it wasn't really a lead, it was just Drakes.
Yeah, I mean, they were down gold for the entirety of the game, right? So depends on what kind of lead you're looking for, as Dread is going to find Rich here. And Rich finds Dread, and then they part. Nothing else happens.
They part their ways.
The love story ends there, guys. Sorry.
Say their goodbyes.
Yeah.
Write the final letter and disappear into the night.
Yep. It was beautiful while it lasted.
Yeah.
But that does mean another scuttle for Dread. He's just going to take all the things on the map. And Peanut just has to sit there and take it. Can't really do much about that. And this might also include the red buff. Peanut is level 5, rather, and now he's got no flash. This might just be a solo kill in the jungle here. A couple more Qs and an auto will do it, although the Dread follow up the kill will come in. And again, it's on to Duckdom, of all people, as he's really enjoying his life on the Tristana. He's able to pop away, but Kellen is...
Oh, no.
Yeah, well.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is just sad. They're going to give that kill over to Fly, which is really good. Give him some more gold in his pockets.
And yet again, though, like this is, yes, a Freaka. This is a nice play. Gets them a couple of kills onto their carries. However, they give up a play in topside. The one upside is that Fly, or Bay rather, can't actually push it that well.
Here we go. That is a hop on in there. Duckdom does take a lot of damage. The encore is going to be huge. The damage out of Peanut should be enough, and they are going to take down Bang, as Lahen's also on the run here. The shield from the crash down and the flash will be enough to get him to safety.
Now I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's probably not worth it. Depends on who gets the Drake here. If Dread is able to rotate towards bot side and actually still pick it up, then maybe, but Peanut is a full 2 levels behind though. Will hit 6 off of this blue buff, but still, Dread's really hammering down this early game advantage. And I think if he didn't die there, if he didn't get taken down by Duggam and Callan, that might have actually just been full stop game over for the jungle matchup. I think that now Peanut is still considerably behind, but it's still somewhat playable. As I love the confidence from Jet to just go for this play. Is it a little bit overforced? Possibly. I feel like he can play this a little bit slow, especially knowing that Fly is on his way and still get the kill. And unfortunate Event Horizon placing, not able to lock down Duckdom or Callan. Killgang of the Flyer is still really, really good, because one of the key things about Vega is that his immobility becomes less of an issue if he has true 100 to 0 potential, right? Where you know, like, if I move in on him, I just die immediately. And from that point of view, being able to snowball AP, it's very nice. This is just, super straightforward teleport play. Overextension coming out from the Freaka spot side. You don't have the ultimates available. Surprised that Lahen's make it, but happy for them, as I'm not sure what happened with the Drake in the end there. It looks like teams are now moving towards it.
Yep. Still up here. Afrika say, sure, go ahead and take that on Drake. We don't care. We're going to take the Rift Herald here with our jungle lead. And you can see that Nongxin, they're delaying on the Drake. It looks like now Peanut is going to start that one up, and they should know this is happening.
And I think this is the big difference between some of the teams that we see on the top side of the bracket where...
They're closing in.
Yay!
Do they have the damage to versus down? Yes, they do.
I got excited.
Hecarim is very exciting.
He runs
champion.
Fast.
Yeah.
Quick horsey. But the one thing that it's coming in. Fortunately, not hitting the event, right? And the double cleanse here also very great. Yes, it's spellbook, but they actually chose the cleanse as his main summoner. Drake being given over, I think, is manageable, provided that either maybe you will get a Cloud Soul here, and then you're like, whatever, doesn't really matter. Or Afrika is able to turn this Rift Herald into something meaningful. Last time it was kind of a rough one. Lance and Bang have the ultimates. Collapse possible, but Peanut is there.
No flash here for Lahans, but Dread's gonna say, okay, let's drop the Rift Herald here in the mid lane. Let's speed Fly a bit more. And Event Horizon is just gonna make that even easier. Zones him out even more, picks up 3 plates for Fly. He's having a great time. I guess he only got 2 of those, but still. Going to be a really nice cash out here for Afrika.
And this Veigar has just been kind of, he's been chilling. He's been able to pick up a single kill, got a couple of plates, able to just kind of freeload through the laning phase. However, and this is something that's important and I'm going to be looking out for throughout the rest of this game, so has Bay. And the call from Afrika, presumably here, that's a lovely recoil animation, is that Veigar freely scaling is going to be better than Seraphine freely scaling, right? Like, that's why you say we'll pick like that. We're not going to be able to threaten her. We're not going to be able to really pressure her. This is comfort for Fly, and the skills, well, we're going to pick this up. Is that actually the case, though? And that's a question that I don't know the answer to, because Seraphine's team fighting is actually disgusting. We've seen it time and time and time again. If you hit a good encore, you can just single-handedly win a team fight. So it remains to be seen whether or not this Veigar pick will actually pay off. And I'm really excited because, as you said, it is a comfort pick for Fly, even though he hasn't played it in, how much was it, like almost 600 days?
Like 594.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I guess comfort is a relative term in that regard. But the important thing here is that it will have a lot of threat. Oh, dang.
Yeah, he is going to Killer Instinct away.
Okay.
His safety instinct coming in there. He's able to hop away, and with the rest of the team coming on in to help out, it's really going to feel nice. Bay has been denying these Event Horizon stuns very nicely, just avoiding the wall there and not being taken down. But again, it's going to be pretty rare for Fly to ever really be able to kill him without jungle help, I would imagine. What with the cleanse, the flash, and all of that jazz.
Yeah, you're looking at a point where Fly actually already at 100 AP, by the way. That's actually like that's starting to feel a little bit better. And I think the one upside here for Afrika is that outside of Dogtown, it is actually a decently short-range comp. There's a lot of action.
Okay. Kind of hit him with his back there with the body slam. After the cask comes in, and Keen just says no. He puts down the red carpet, but Rich was not walking down it.
This is I think the combination of this Rumble and the Veigar make this a hard game to a certain, because we've not seen neither of these picks for such a long time. It does look like Fly is going to go for Everfrost, which I quite like. I think it's a really strong item in general, and then on the Veigar specifically, it should have a very, very nice synergy with, well, basically all the amount of knockdown that you have really on the side of Afrika with your Hecarim, and Lahans coming in there as well. And it kind of voices what I was getting into earlier, where Nongxin Red Force, outside of Dokdam, who did have a considerable amount of range, is very like in your face, right? Yes, Bay can throw an Encore, but outside of that, you want to be kind of in the thick of things. Then you have Graves, then you have Kalin, and you have Rich, who definitely want to be up close. Not even to mention Peanut. So I wonder to what extent that Event Horizon actually going to provide a reliable threat. However, Afrika's early game is looking a lot more like we expected from them. And maybe this time they will be able to actually turn that into something more. Because last game there wasn't a lead and then they did well. So if they do get a lead, it follows that they should be doing even better. But it's Afrika, so whether that's true remains to be seen.
The track record certainly will bring some questions to us, and we'll see if they can actually execute here. As Dread is just, giving the thumbs up. Top of the morning from Peanut. Raises the top hat from the Pengu. And we're all just kind of hanging out here, farming it out. No other action really after some of the shenanigans that happened on the bottom side of the map. And, if we're just casually scaling up here, it's going to feel pretty good. As Afrika just going to go ahead and take this Ocean Drake. Doesn't look like Nongshim want to challenge this at all. And it is yet another Cloud Soul here, 2 in a row.
I feel like there's someone we can blame for this. Who do
you think that
suggestions? I don't
know. What's like the god of wind in Norse mythology? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure you're about to tell me.
Yes, it's Atlas. You're right. Thanks, Atlas, for the Cloud Soul. Cloud
so
Atlas
we can just permanently blame him for everything.
Yeah, that's just the way it has turned out here. Kellen, you okay? Might not be okay here in the second. Dread is angry after that, and over the wall he goes as Kellen now is even gonna flash. Not looking good. As now Duck Dom is gonna cleanse that slow, but this Horsey is just way too fast. As at least the pushback is gonna be good. Duck Dom forced to flash away himself. A nice amount of damage does get done on the backside from Duck Dom, but at least Nongshim are taking the Rift Herald. I suppose a consolation prize for them.
And I hope for Afrika that they're able to, besides that, also get some turrets damage done. I don't really want them to see them lose first turret block with this composition. And this is the one downside of the Vega, right? That generally is not the biggest problem, but that Bay and Peanut are like on top of the Rift Herald, which you kind of can certain as fly. You're not really able to do any considerable damage just from the lack of turret threat that you do have. Dread maybe looking towards topside. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first turret blood as Peanut is going to not even have to use the Rift Herald on topside, actually. He's just rich off by his own.
And the pressure, you see how far back Keen is playing. He's like, no, I don't want any playing with that. As now the damage is coming in here from Fly. It's not enough to 100-0 Bay, especially because he does have the heal from his unsealed spellbook, but still a nice little chunk. And that will get scarier as the game comes along.
And that's the main takeaway, right? Because if this is a verdant barrier, you're like, it's kind of okay. I think, are they going to go for them again? I'm like, I don't think you can do that. And they decide so as well. So that's nice. Because this is a Bay without any resistances, and this is also one of the reasons why you don't see the Vega very often. It's not a lot of games where you can get away with your mid laner, like finding his combo and then not dealing basically any like lethal threatening damage to Seraphine at this point in the game. And, Seraphine is also pretty busted, so that also doesn't.
It helps. It helps that Seraphine.
I mean, it helps for Nongshim.
Yes.
It doesn't help for the case of Vega, which is what I'm trying to make it, because I love seeing off-meta picks, and I'd rather see them win. But, there's plenty of time in this game. If the last game is any indication, Valdez, so everyone at home, strap in. I wonder, maybe, everyone should take a number in their head, like, how much AP stacks do you think Fly is going to get this game?
307.
Okay, 307 is Valdez. I'm gonna go higher.
Might be more actually.
I think he's gonna be 450.
450.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Everyone at home, pick a number.
The way this game is going, if it continues at this pace, I think you're probably closer. But let's see. I'm hoping the action kind of gets going here, so I can be right about my number. No other reason.
Naturally. Naturally.
Afrika, they're still thinking about it, but as you mentioned, it's not going to be the easiest dive even on a Duck Dom here. As okay, I guess we're just face checking brushes now, as Dread is not going to survive. He gets collateral damage in the face, and you just can't do that. I don't care how strong you are. That's definitely a unfortunate mistake as the Encore is going to land, and Keen is going to have to flash away this time around. Fly's attempt at the event horizon for defense is just Keen flashing away instead.
And this is why it's hard to get excited about Afrika, even with a nice early game lead. In mid-game, sometimes they just do stuff like this, where they walk in for no reason. The Drake is spawning in like at a minute at that point in time. You don't have the backup. Your Rumble isn't actually there yet. It's just so greedy.
Yeah, and you can see Fly is like, he's doing a nice amount of damage. This is actually great chip damage that comes in, but you know, where's the follow-up? I don't even think he had the flash there, but especially with no equalizer. But still, you know, against good teams, you can't make mistakes like that. That's why teams in the LCK sometimes play it very safe and slow, because everybody in the LCK is really good, even the bottom level teams here. So you give them an inch, they're going to take a huge leap, a mile, and that's exactly what Nongshim are trying to do.
I was like, maybe Dread is going to like just take the blast going out of there, and that is it, which also kind of unnecessary. I think he had a feeling of false safety with Keen in the general vicinity and a Rel stun on top of him with a tracked repel. But yeah, not really an excusable play there, especially coming from the man who found a solo kill, and it legitimately feels like Dread in the first 15 minutes is one of the strongest junglers within the LCK, and then post 15 minutes, it just, I don't know, a switch gets turned off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, you know, the need to carry, which I think we've seen with a lot of teams, where it's just like you start making weird plays because you feel like you need to get something going as Keen goes in.
Yeah, Peanut's going to take a bit of damage. It does net the red buff for Keen, denies it from Peanut.
Rumble with red buff. I mean, those you know, those silence empowered, those overheat empowered autos are.
Yeah.
Those are gonna hurt extra much now. That is, yeah, that's not great. I mean, you deny it, right? That's the main takeaway there.
Awesome.
Very good laugh spamming. Very happy about that.
Yeah. Nobody is actually building Merc Treads on the side of Nongshim, which is interesting. I guess with the power of Lucidity Boots and all the other power that comes in here, the cast is going to be good, but again, Event Horizon is just really great into a lot of the members on the side of Nongshim, including the Gragas in some moments. Just like that one, as Dread is going really deep for this one. There is no follow-up just yet. It's finally coming through, but look at the damage that Peanut's able to do. But the huge attract repel and the engage that comes in from Lehends is going to net them a ton more kills, as now even the equalizer is coming down here. Rich will be able to survive, but that is the engage Afrika we're finally looking for.
That's one tanky man, but it's not enough. Afrika freaks with what initially feels like maybe an over-aggressive move with Dread going in that deep, but he does actually find it, and the key thing was Dokdom wasn't there. And the teleport now coming in, not a lot of sustain available.
Dread is really low. Cask is not up just yet, but if they could potentially deny Dread, that could be interesting. They're all funneling now into the pit. Rich inside the event horizon. He doesn't really care. He's super tanky. As look at Dokdom, he's just shelling the damage. But it's not going to be enough to take everybody out here. Why are they trying to engage now? Keen going to go in and just die. The body slam comes in. The knock comes as well. And now Dokdom going super deep, but maybe a little bit too far. Nope, he's going to survive. Just Dokdom things, as you will make it out of there alive once again. Afrika, they pick up the Baron. They're still on the run here as Rich is going to miss the... What? I thought he had vision on the Veigar. I'm not sure how he missed that one. Now he's going to get the kill as Fly is going to gift it over to him, says, please take me. You should have gotten me with that last barrel. And Nongshim pick up a bunch of kills, although Afrika got that, well, now Bang's in a lot of trouble. Not much to say about that one. He is going to flash away. The body slam comes in, and we're just on the carousel, man. I feel like I'm at the carnival. What is going on?
Bring the trumpets in. Keen is coming in.
Guys, all right, Dokdom's dead. Who else wants to go down here? Looks like Bay and Peanut will finally get the message. They're like, all right, we're going to back away now.
We're not done yet. Oh, come on, please let us be done. This is no more.
Okay, Kellen's not going to steal the big raptor. Good try.
Okay.
There you have it.
Everyone, we can relax. Take a breather. It started off with this,
Yeah.
and then it was just 2 minutes of mayhem. So picking up A here and a very inconsequential encore is a decent start here. The main takeaway yet again is that the main source of damage is not there. If you had an equalizer, this is not even remotely close, right? But I think actually Keen did have it. Maybe he wanted to keep it for a little bit later, interestingly enough. This is very interesting as well. Like you, I'm not a fan of the fact that they try to re-engage, but I want to take a look at the summoners here because I'm pretty sure that Hecarim would have just died, and instead they try and go for like a Hail Mary play with the Event Horizon. Because I think everyone besides Hecarim could actually get over the wall with flashes. Instead, they decide to flip it, which wondrously enough actually worked out decently well. And Fly here with what feels like the Great Escape, like 15 times in a row, only to then succumb to the barrel as Keen! What?
Ooh.
That's Soul Point. You can't.
What a spicy game we got going here. Like, this just never ends. The action never ends. It's okay. We got a big knock-up now. That's going to be a good cast. But again, Event Horizon says no. Welcome to Vagar Land. Hope you'll enjoy your stay. Bay has a stopwatch here, thankfully, as the shields are insane. They don't have the damage to get through him. Finally, he hits his R button to kill the Seraphine, but he dies himself. And now even Peanut is looking for more. I think he failed his dash over the wall. But it's going to be the Cloud Drake now going the way of Nongshim.
I don't know why Rich got caught, or Rakim got caught there, rather. Oh, Valdez, this game is going faster than I can analyze. Yeah, just getting greedy. I don't know what to tell you. I guess he didn't know that the wall was there, but again, this is like coming up onto a dragon spawn, right? Like this is not a surprise that there are people there. Like you know that this is happening. And subsequently, we see that they actually go and try in and make it work somehow, which somewhat surprises me because this is already a 4 versus 5 with one of your strongest team fighters not there. You need the Rumble.
Yeah.
You can't fight without him. It's just not something you can get away with because while the damage of someone like Fly is really good on isolated targets, unless you hit like a really big Event Horizon where you stun 3 people and then you find the meteor, right? Like it doesn't do that much. Okay.
Okay, well, actually it was a great bait, mate. He's probably just going to die. Yeah, Dread just gets baited in. And yes, Bay had to flash, but that's
worth.
Well, I don't know. There's no objectives, you know?
Maybe it's not. This game is slipping away from me, as is my sanity, fella.
We're slipping out of reality the more we watch.
As you know, it's Vagar Rumble and oh Fly, oh buddy.
Oh man, I just want to get off of Mr. Bones' wild ride now. I don't want any more of this. People just keep getting caught. How is this happening?
That exhaust was not necessary. Okay, Kellen, I'm going to go out and say it. That was overkill, man. He was dead. And of course, maybe he finds a Hail Mary. He needs the back. I don't.
So Keen isn't backing. Bay isn't here either. We're just shaking hands, giving the inhibitor over.
What? I don't.
We got Baron now in 50 seconds. At least everybody will be up and alive. But that seems like a pretty free inhibitor that Nongshim just gained.
This is what pressure does to a man, or I guess in this case 10 man, right? Like this, it makes you crumble. It makes you make plays that you normally wouldn't make. It makes you kind of off guard by like just the sheer tempo of this game because we're watching this with full vision. Imagine being one of the players and it's just like kill after kill, and you get caught, and you get caught, and he gets caught. As Dread thinks he's the one catching someone else, but then he gets caught, right? And that's basically, honestly, like. It's been the entire story of this game where you're like, oh, someone gets caught, or are they the one catching someone else? And then it just happens perpetually. In this case, twice in a row, it's Nongshim catching someone. But it could flip at a moment's notice. This game is wild, Valdez.
We're off the rails now. full solo queue. That's the way it's going. That cask, that wasn't it, but I mean, it's okay.
Event Horizon does provide, again, consistently a lot of value, and you get this Drake as a freak, you might still be feeling decently confident. But yeah, that's Tristana right there. That is Dogdom really cosplaying some PvE performance there.
Rakan did 97.58 damage to the turret. How is that even possible?
I'm glad we know that now. That is great.
Stats team is on the ball here. Thank you for that, guys. 0.58 repeating, of course. Seems to be the way this is going. And now we're just K-ramming it up here in the mid lane.
A pop culture reference from
I know,
our Brendan Veldes.
crazy.
That really is a wow.
At least I played World of Warcraft, so you know I got that one.
We've got the topical references on lockdown. Very hip. I love it. Dread, buddy. We talked about this.
Peanut's pretty strong now. After an abhorrent early game and just getting absolutely dunked by the Horsey. He's 4-2-3, and he's got 2.5 items. QSS actually going to be, you know, again, there's a reason why 2 people on Nongshim have cleanse.
There's too many arcs, right? Like, there's too many things happening in this game. Normally, like, Peanut coming back from a big deficit like that in of itself is like a cool thing to hone in on, but there's just too much.
Peanut, no.
He's dead.
He's got his flash. And again, who's stuck in here with who? Dread is fast enough this time, so he is able to get away. Rich also really fast. He's getting on in there, but Event Horizon pretty good. Encore does come out and hits 0 people on the enemy team. Bang's now trying to frontline against red buff Tristana. I do not recommend. And the Cloud Drake coming up here. They're thinking about actually going for Cloud Soul Point, it looks like.
It's feeling like a game show, who catches who, and no one actually knows what's happening. Even the hosts themselves don't, because that's how this one is feeling. The dragon is coming up. Neither team has soul points, so this is one you can reasonably give up. Oh my god.
I actually like that little maneuver that they did there. You catch like all of them backing and one guy is a little bit late, you get a catch and it's a Baron. In a game like this, you gotta resort to non-typical strategies, okay? Not your everyday LCK game, this one.
The real question is, how much AP does Fly have? How many stacks?
Talking about story arcs, like that was all we were talking about when nothing was happening.
Yeah, that feels like an eternity ago. Everyone at home still remember the number? You know, we might be getting a look at it soon. And it feels like it's just, even when there's not overextension, players are just going to go for plays anyway. I guess in jungle corridors you should be favored as a Freaka just through the sheer force of Equalizer, but it really depends on whether or not you can get on Doctor.
Doing Baron and they're spotted.
Oh boy.
They know this is happening, but do they have the damage to burn it down? The answer is no. They want to go for the turn. The smoke screen is so good, actually, from the Graves. It's getting so much value. Event Horizon now is down, and the cask comes in and forces Fly to flash away. And onwards we go.
Not over yet.
On to the next fight. Take a look at the positioning of Nongshim trying to zone them away from the mid lane. But not going to be effective. More so actually hanging around the Baron than trying to make a big maneuver on the mid lane. They already have that inhibitor. As we do have a Gragas hiding in the brush, as well as Duckdom, actually, who made it in there, probably hopped the wall at some point. But Afrika are not going to bite the bait. Not this time.
This odd 270. Okay. You know, I'm feeling better about your prediction than I do about mine.
307 was mine, so I don't know.
Actually,
he's going to have to stop farming for a little bit. The game's going to have to end from one team fight to hit that prediction. No, I think we're doomed here.
I think there's
oh, nice. He hit it with his, his W.
I feel there's one or two scenarios. Either this is like indeed one of those games where it ends in like one big team fight, like I think within the next 5 minutes, or this is a 50-minute slugfest with like at least 2 more Baron races.
Kind of like the last game a little bit.
Yeah, and backdoors.
All right, here we go.
Or you can eat. Can they go in here?
They get the vision. The damage out of Duckdom is pretty ridiculous. And it looks like they do want to commit to it, but Dread is just running around here. He's going to get body slammed. They're trying to turn, but the Equalizer is so much value. Not actually able to get too much damage done, though, as now the front to back. Duckdom is just going to get blown up by Fly, but the GA is going to save him. And Bang is not able to do it 1v5. He's just getting run down now as the exhaust is able to come on in. And the one team fight is actually going to decide it here. They're going to chase after the Lahems. Not sure if that's the right decision. He's buying a lot of time. Although it doesn't look like it'll matter. We're late enough in the game as Nongshim will look to push and end this one.
And I don't think there's anything they can do. The carries are coming alive in like 25 seconds. Dogdom is here this time, Valdez. He does way more damage than anyone in the previous game, and that might just be it for Afrika's dreams to playoffs.
That's gonna do it. 34 minutes, and with 10 seconds left on Fly, there is no hope of stopping this Nexus from going down. That is going to be the 2-0 to Nongshim, who furthered their way into the playoffs just a bit more. They're gonna let Rich die one time, a blood sacrifice perhaps, to further their chances. And that is going to be the win over to Nongshim. We had a crazy couple of games, but they get the job done. And that does mean that Afrika and their hopes of making the playoffs are all but gone.
And it is Nongshim